Welcome to Intentionality with Dominique, the show that helps business owners become valued and in-demand suppliers in the marketplace to scale their businesses. Let's start today's show with host and intentional connector, Dominique Simpson Milton.
Intentionality with Dominique is designed to spotlight successful entrepreneurs, those who've made it past the critical 10-year mark and have valuable insights to share. Their journeys offer lessons that can help less experienced business owners avoid common pitfalls and grow stronger faster. Because the more businesses we help survive, the stronger our economy. Today, we're spotlighting Tim Catlett, CEO, and Sadie Catlett, President of Progressive Business Solutions. For more than 38 years, Progressive Business Solutions has helped organizations streamline procurement and operations through services that include commercial printing, office furniture, janitorial supplies, promotional products, online ordering platforms, warehousing, and fulfillment. What makes their company unique is their focus on solving operational challenges, not just selling products. By helping clients reduce vendor overload, control spending, maintain brand consistency, and creating more efficient purchasing systems. Tim and Sadie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Look, thank you, Dominique.
Thank you.
So I want to tell our audience a story before we get started. And, I always tell this when I'm talking about Tim. But when you all were getting started and Tim didn't have any business, I love the fact that every day he got dressed, he laced up his shoes, and he acted the part until the business started to flow, right? And so for our business owners listening, you have to get dressed every morning, right? If you're working at home, you can't be in your pajamas. You have to get ready. Put on that attitude, put on the cloak, and be ready for the business. So when it comes, you're looking the part. Would you agree, Tim?
Yes, it's definitely, you got to get that atmosphere that you really need to get out and find those customers. So that helps me get my mind focused and knowing that I'm just like I'm sitting in corporate America.
There you go, Tim. There you go. And Tim, before launching Progressive Business Solutions, you were in corporate America. What led you to make the decision to leave that path and start your own business 38 years ago?
Well, I had a very successful career in corporate America, and my wife is the one who told me, said, "Hey, if you are good in corporate America, you know you can be good for yourself." So my wife really encouraged me to go out on my own. And anytime you go into business, if you don't have your support for your wife, the chances are you're gonna have a struggle.
Very good point, right? So there's a whole family focus. But taking that leap 4 decades ago, that was huge. What were those early days like, Tim, when you first launched a business? You didn't have customers. What helped you sustain it over the years?
Well, that drive that I had to be successful, and knowing that I had a family to support, I had the goals that I needed to I set for myself. I had to be successful. I didn't have any choice. When I left corporate America, you all on your own. Is that some people say you got to eat what you kill, and I had to go out and hunt and find those opportunities. And an organization like what you belong to, Dominique, the CVMSDC, helped me succeed in what my goals were.
Yes. And so for some business owners starting out, they think, okay, I'm going to be able to start this business. I'll get contracts right away. But you had to put the grind in, right? You had to grind and to get those customers. And I applaud you. You all are the first guests that I've had that have been successful at succession planning, right? So I know that you groomed Sadie, and she worked in the business. This is her main job, right? She's been in this business and growing and watching you, watching your wife, and you groomed her so that you could turn the business over to her. That is a blessing in and of itself, because everybody can't do that, right? So talk to me about that process that you went through, and then I want to hear from Sadie about taking over the business. So Tim, how did you get her ready?
Well, first of all, she started off emptying the trash cans and answering the phone and understanding what it all takes to run a business, even at the early part of her career. And then she went to several of the training schools that you had in the Dartmouth. No, she hadn't been to Dartmouth, the Northwestern. You been to Dartmouth?
Northwestern.
Northwestern, Richmond, and just going through the business training that's available. Everything that we could have to get her acclimated into understanding what it takes, because it takes a lot. And then that's going on the sales calls with me and watching the things that I did each day. And I continue to listen to her and make sure her desire was always there.
That's good. So I tell our business owners, when you create a business plan, part of your business plan needs to be how you're going to exit the business, whether that means selling it or making a transition on to a family member or someone else. So I'm glad that you did that. But I also heard you say, not only did you train her, but you sent her to the training programs that we have. Development is key, and sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And Sadie was very instrumental in going to these developmental programs. So Sadie, before we talk about the program, let's talk about being a second generation leader. What has it been like stepping into that role and helping guide the company into its next phase of growth?
For me, well, like you said, you don't know what you don't know. So a lot of it was learning, a lot of it was being patient, and then also following the leaders ahead of me. Watching my dad, how he interacted with employees, how he interacted with customers, really helped me shape the type of leader I am today. But really making sure that I have a team behind me that's going to help the growth, not just making the sale, but following along with changing with different procedures, putting in place to help us scale, and understanding that feedback goes both ways, making sure that I'm here to listen to my employees, hear them out, and see what other ideas that can help other art customers as well.
So the key for our listeners is coachability. Sadie is very coachable, right? So she listened to her dad. She said feedback goes both ways, but she also went to these developmental programs. Talk about your experiences leaving the business and investing a week of your time to be immersed in one of these programs. Talk to me about that.
Well, it was a stepping stone. I think the first class that I was in was the Sunoco leadership, and that really gave me a real life lesson on what it's like to interact with the different procurement folks. I remember one of the teachers was Deborah White, and I thought I was ready. I had my notes prepared, had my questions and things like that. But Deborah taught me that you need to make sure you do your research before you go to these different corporate clients to make sure you're prepared to handle the needs that's going to solve their problems that they're having. And then after that, I believe it was the business school of Richmond. And that really helped me look inside my business and the marketing, getting feedback from employees, making sure that we're sustainable, and having a plan together. I remember at first I was very hesitant to think about the end, but at the end of the day, you need to have a roadmap, and we want to make sure that we're following that roadmap. And sometimes it takes every quarter, annually, to make sure you're reevaluating that roadmap to making sure we're staying on track.
Yes, absolutely. So over the years, your company has expanded from traditional printing into office furniture, janitorial supplies, promotional products, fulfillment, and customized online ordering platform. How have you successfully diversified the business while continuing to grow?
Yeah. Well, first of all, doing the your customers are the ones who help you diversify your business. When you call on those customers and find out a need that they might have, and they allow you to have that particular need. What we did that really helped us out, I took the leap to build my own facility. And when customers came through some of our customer appreciations, they started to ask us, could you handle this, Tim? Could you do this? We had a need for this. So we prepared ourselves way ahead of time before we got those opportunities. We had customers like one of the colleges wanted to have somebody to provide furniture that that they look like their student body. And it was very few African Americans or Black folk providing furniture. So we got on state contract. That was a big help for us. That a couple of the furniture manufacturers knew how valuable we could be to them. And also even with the janitorial items, I didn't want to be a janitorial supplier at first, but after I looked at the need and how much individuals use janitorial supplies, and we had the facility, so we just had to get that big customer to help us to get into that area, which it was. Well, a big customer helped us to get the supply, and we're a direct supplier, not a redistributor of from somebody else. So all those things, being prepared, helped us to get diversified in different items that came about.
So I like what you said, because you said the customer guided your expansion, but it wasn't just willy-nilly. You expanded in smart ways, right? So you didn't start selling cars, right? You were providing office products, you were providing printing, so you expanded along those lines to do the furniture for the offices, to do the facility maintenance for them. So that was smart expansion. So kudos to you for that. Sadie, what did you bring to the table when you came and you saw how your dad was running the company? What innovative solutions did you bring to the table?
Really helped expand on our online ordering and putting more highlight onto that, because it really helps streamline ordering process with the end user, our customer, and there was a big need for reporting. There was a big need for visibility on seeing who's ordering what. And through our online platform, we're able to do that. So we've been able to help out regional department stores, do brand consistency, show visibility to all of their employees on what they're ordering and their usage, their spend. We're able to show them those savings as well. Along with that, it's been able to help us expand. So now we aren't just serving our local area. We're able to service nationwide with our online ordering platform.
I love
And
that.
just making sure I'm taking care of understanding what technology is doing today. We're finding ways to implement AI in our business, and that's been really helping us move a lot faster.
Yeah, automation is key. And so to our listeners, if you are not using AI, if you're not looking at automation as a way to catapult your business, you're going to be left behind, right? Because now they're in North Carolina, but now they can service anybody in the US, and in the middle of the night, somebody can go in and order a product and that be delivered within in a good time period. So kudos to you for that, Sadie and Tim. So let's talk about solutions. You describe Progressive Business Solutions as a solution provider rather than simply a company that sells products. What does that mean, and how does that approach help organizations solve operational and procurement challenges?
Well, first of all, our name of our company used to be Progressive Business Forms, that we only provided forms, checks, continuous forms, and you know how that the internet and technology has changed that. So I got with my employees got with me and said, "Hey, Tim, we do more than just forms. Let's look at changing our name to Progressive Business Solutions, because that's what we've done. We've got with corporate America, different customers, and find out what their needs were. And if it didn't relate to forms, we looked at labels. We looked at furniture, and finding those suppliers that could provide that service at a competitive price that we can provide to corporate America. So we go into customers and ask, what are some of your pain points? What are some of the things that we might have? We got the facility, we got the people that can help. We got about 30 people working for us right now, and there's a whole lot of opportunities or value that we can add to a lot of our customers, not just print. It could be just managing their inventory.
Yes.
So all those things that we've considered us being a solutions provider.
Well, I love the fact that you changed the name because it's all encompassing solutions, right? Progressive business solutions. So kudos to you there. So, Sadie, many organizations today struggle with vendor overload, limited visibility into purchasing, and maintaining brand consistency across locations. How do your systems, reporting tools, and consolidate purchasing solutions help simplify those challenges for your clients?
Well, we give them real-time data. We are with our online platform. It's branded to your needs, so it's not like you're getting a Progressive Business Solutions platform. No, if you're getting a CVMSDC platform with your logos, your employees have access to its password protected, and we use the power of BI for reporting. It's giving you usage, it's giving you data on turnaround times, it's giving you data specifically for items or for the time frame. What was ordered in the first quarter of the year, the second quarter of the year? What did I order 5 years from now? To help you understand what your needs are, to make sure you can make better decisions on usage and things like that.
Excellent, excellent. So for organizations that may be dealing with inefficiencies in their purchasing or operations, when should they consider partnering with a company like Progressive Business Solutions to create a more streamlined and strategic approach?
Right now.
Right now.
Or when inefficiencies are happening and it's causing your day-to-days to be backlogged. Call us when you're having trouble keeping up with who's ordering what or what vendors you should use. Give us a chance to see your organization and to come up with a customized solutions that best fits your company's need.
Very good, very good. So, Tim, what would you say is the difference between working on your business and working in your business?
Well, working on your business is but looking at future opportunities, how a good decision today might not be a good decision tomorrow. You're trying to get with your people and try to look at how you can develop yourself to help your clients' needs and for the future and for today. Working in your business, you still have to look at your employees and how you have those professionals that can help the solutions that you provide to those customers. So you got to make sure you surround your individuals, but surround yourself with good employees and individuals that can make decisions on their own and collaborate together and come up with solutions for your customers. So both of them is very important.
Very good.
But you definitely got to make sure you work on your business to see what can be done in the future for your future customers, because everything changes, needs change.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said both are important, right? You just have to know how to balance the two. Right. Thank you for that. Sadie, what would you say is the difference between working on versus working in your business?
Well, I think working in your business, you're dealing with the daily pains. You're dealing with client resolutions, client problems. You're dealing with approving orders, things like that. It's really the operations of the business. But working on your business is more so the architect, coming up with solutions for the future, employee needs, ways to scale, how to plan, financial refining. That's working on your business to be better, and I would say prepared for the future.
Very good. Those courses helped you. I can hear it. So, Tim, last question for you. What's the biggest lesson that you learned as a business owner that you want new business owners to understand as they try and get past the 5-year mark?
Well, first of all, you can't do everything yourself. You got to surround yourself with good people. And also you got to look at everybody makes mistakes in business. My biggest thing that I wish I've looked at further is developing a consistent sales team. A consultant told me one time, said, "Tim, you're a great salesperson, but you should not be out of sales. You should be out training the people to be you." And that's one thing. I was a small business that I wanted to do everything. I thought I was the best salesperson. I went to all events and didn't have anybody to work with me. But then when I started hiring salespeople, I saw the difference in how we grew and in the different collaborations and ideas that other people would bring to the table. So I wish I had done that earlier. We're doing it now, but I wish I had done that earlier.
Yeah, and you did the ultimate, right? You trained Sadie to be able to take over for you, and that's
Right.
again, kudos to you for that, because that's huge. Sadie, what would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned thus far? Because you've been in the business for quite some time. What's the biggest lesson that you want to impart to people trying to figure out how to get past that 5-year mark?
The biggest lesson I would say I will have learned is that I can't do it all myself. I need a strong team behind me, and learn how to also delegate. Not everything needs to be done by me. That's what you have a team for, but you want to make sure you have the right people positioned to lead as well. I don't want to be the only leader in my organization. I want to be able to coach them to lead while I'm away, so we can continue to do business, not just reliant on one person.
Excellent, excellent. So what did you hear, folks? Continuous improvement, right? Always working on your business, having the right team, training that team, making sure you're not the only salesperson out there, right? You have an army of folks that can work for you. And when you bring them on board, they understand how to get started. And then have a succession plan. As you start your business, make sure that in the business plan, you have an exit plan. That's a key lesson here. Again, kudos to Progressive Business Solution for getting the formula right for 38 years in business. I'm so proud of you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So if you'd like to learn more about how Progressive Business Solutions can help streamline your organization's procurement and operational needs, visit progform.com. That's progform.com. Well, folks, that concludes today's episode of Intentionality. Be sure to join me for our next episode, and remember that we must always, always remain intentional to gain knowledge, skills, and connections so we can grow and thrive in business together. I'm Dominique Simpson Milton, and I will see you next time.
This has been another episode of Intentionality with Dominique, brought to you by the CVMSDC. For more information, please visit cvmsdc.org.